This James Lankford just stepped off the floor of the House of Representatives voting on and approving H.R. 5, which is the Student Success Act. This is a replacement to the No Child Left Behind, which is in desperate need of replacement. No Child Left Behind dialed up on all the districts more and more requirements until we finally get to 2014, and no district in America can meet the standards that are left in No Child Left Behind. Knowing that, every state has now come to the federal government and has asked for waiver authority. When that waiver authority is given, now the Department of Education really becomes a national school board, telling each district, each state what they have to do to meet new requirements that they can literally make up as they go because there's no law or statute that they're behind. That's why we desperately need to be able to pass a replacement to No Child Left Behind so states and school districts know how to function within the law and not just something that changes year to year based on the whims of the Department of Education and decisions they bring down this year on their waivers. So what do we do with it? We changed some things that are on the inside that a lot of districts care a lot about, like maintenance of effort requirement. We took a lot of different silos of funding that each district may have money left to be able to spend and they need to put in their classroom, but they can't because the federal government requires this money to go somewhere else. We took away a lot of those silos and said the money that you have, local districts and the states can make the decisions on that. We gave a lot of authority back to the teachers and back to school administrators and back to their school districts to be able to make individual decisions. And we did a lot of work to say to those different educators, do what's best for your kids in curriculum. We forbade the federal government from basically choosing a curriculum, which is a part of the Department of Education when it started in the very beginning in the 1970s, that we don't have a national curriculum. We have this moving push from the federal government towards what's called the Common Core. It's a curriculum, not a curriculum, it's a set of standards really, and a set of testing that goes with it that's been designed by the federal government. Originally started from the states, that's a great idea, but then taken over by the administration, funded through stimulus dollars, and then now required with Race to the Top and all these waivers. That's a real problem if we start to tell every state and every district, you've got to match every other state and every other district, and we're going to tell you how to do it from the federal government. It's not the way it was ever designed, not the way it's ever going to work best. So we're trying to take that back to the states, and that's the right way to do it. Had a lot of policy meetings, had a lot of things that we did to help push this bill through. I'm very pleased that we got it through the House. We'll push it over to the Senate, and then we'll continue to get a fix long-term for it. One of the amendments that came up specifically dealt with this national school board type philosophy that happened. I spoke on the floor on that specific amendment in support of it. Want to get a chance to show you that floor conversation.
In Central Oklahoma, I can assure you, our parents love their kids and know their kids better than someone 1,300 miles away in Washington, D.C. So the simple decision should be made that I have personally contacted the superintendents in my district who asked for one simple thing: allow us to make decisions locally. We want to know that the decisions we make are going to stick, and we won't spend all of our time and all of our money hiring compliance people to connect with the federal government to know what monies go where and what silos go where. And I hear over and over again, Race to the Top didn't give us greater flexibility. It actually said, you have flexibility in the silo that we give you. They want just real flexibility. With that, I'd encourage the passage of this amendment.
Thank you to so many people that contributed input into this bill. I've had roundtable meetings with educators. I've met with parents. I've talked to superintendents all over the district to try to get their input through the crafting of it. And then once it got down to the final version, it came back again to several administrators to ask for input and to continue to get that feedback. It's very important in the crafting of legislation that as many voices as possible all get a chance to contribute to it, so we really know it matches our values and our personality. So I really appreciate the help of so many people that contributed into this conversation. Now it's time to be able to actually work towards making law and getting things done, because this is how legislation should be done, but this is also how education should be done in America. That is done in the most basic level that we can possibly do, as close to the child and the parent as we can possibly get it. Let's make the decisions there rather than making those decisions in Washington, D.C.